Let's start with Dallas because they're headed back home after an OT loss on Saturday to host my beloved Kraken. Look, I'm from the Pacific Northwest, so I just adopt a team. Do I know a ton about what's going on in the NHL? No, but this is why we have you here, so you can give us a nice little wager on tonight's action. What's happening?
Yeah, so Dallas actually lost their starting goalie, and it's a big loss for them and Jake Ottinger. But here's the thing, is Seattle has had a ton of issues scoring goals. They've had a ton of issues putting up points, and Dallas is one of those teams that rebounds really nicely. They play a really good defensive system. So when you think about a team that's going to be able to weather the storm of losing a starting goalie, it's the Dallas Stars. I like them here in a rebound spot against the Seattle Kraken, who have been struggling this year. So I'm on the Dallas Stars money line. It's not a value play, but my model's got it at 58% chance of a Stars win. So we're going to go with that one because that's the highest play of the night.
And obviously, everybody, we're giving you picks across the entire sports landscape. So if you want to take that money line and pair it with something else, I'm sure you can get a nice little parlay in there as well. Let's get to the Wild, though, because they're on a 3-game run to make their way to Pittsburgh this evening to battle the Penguins. What's the play there that you love?
I'm rocking with the under, and here's some wild stats for you, Danny. In the last 10 games that Minnesota Wild have appeared in have been an average of 4.6 goals. No one is scoring. Pittsburgh hasn't had more than a 6-goal game. I think it's twice in the last 10 games. They aren't scoring a ton of goals. They're both have awful power plays. They don't shoot the puck as well. And when you look at it, this is kind of a recipe of a stoppable object meeting like someone that can't really do anything. And so when you look at this, it's kind of a match made in heaven for the under here. They're both teams that are focusing on their defensive play. Based on the trends and the model output, I've got this modeled out at 5.76 goals. I like the under here.
Absolutely. It sounds like the stats there back that one up for sure. Let's talk about the Panthers, because after back-to-back 4-0 losses, they bounced back with a very big win in Edmonton, and now they are in Calgary. There's a player prop that you're liking in that matchup. What is it?
I'm going with the captain, Sasha Barkov, over 2.5 shots. This is my model's favorite play of the night. Model has him projected for 4.76 shots, which is well over the 2.5 shot line. I like it. He has gone over this number in 8 of his last 10 games. He's become a consistent shooter now that Matthew Tkachuk is playing on a different line. So he's kind of really become the go-to shooting guy on that top line for Florida. Against Calgary, he is going to have a tougher matchup here because he's going to have to play defense, but I like him. He is driving the bus offensively for the Florida Panthers of late. 3 shots really shouldn't be an issue here for Alexander Barkov.
There's a player prop parlay that I do believe you're cooking up for us, which we love a parlay around here. So what is it?
It is, and I came with options. So the one I'm going with is Matthew Tkachuk in his return to Calgary and Mark Scheifele to both record 1 point. These are 2 of the premier players in the NHL. Mark Scheifele has scored at least 1 point in 73% of his games this year. And while Matthew Tkachuk is having a bit of a down year, he's always good against his former team, and that's something you can always count on. If you don't like Matthew Tkachuk, though, you can go with Sam Reinhart. It's similar value, and he's registered a point in 83% of his games in the NHL this year. So when you look at that, there are options. You can choose either one. I just like Matthew Tkachuk in the revenge game. The narrative is right there, and he's one of those guys that feeds off of that. So I'm going with that as my parlay.